Hello, I'm Aditya Sharma presenting the legal headlines of the day on behalf of Law Mantra. Jaitley Kejriwal defamation row laid to rest as Delhi High Court accepts their compromise. The defamation suits emanating out of the DDCA row between Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal came to an amicable closure on Tuesday, with the Delhi High Court allowing their joint applications for compromise following the letter's unconditional apology. The High Court allowed their joint application for compromise, thereby closing the ₹10 crore defamation suits filed by Jaitley against Kejriwal and its aides. Early on Tuesday, Justice Manmohan allowed closing of the defamation suit filed by Jaitley in 2017 after senior advocate Ram Jethmalani, who was then representing Kejriwal, allegedly used derogatory words during his cross-examination last year in the original defamation suit emanating out of the AAP leader's allegations of corruption in Delhi and District Cricket Association during the BJP leader's tenure as its president. Justice Manmohan accepted the written undertaking of Jaitley Kejriwal in his aides and decreed the suit in accordance with the settlement, wherein Jaitley had accepted the unconditional apology tendered by the AAP leaders on April 1st. Kerala High Court again moves for unified legislation for the medical practitioners in the state. The government has been alarmingly lethargic in taking steps to further the intention of having a unified legislation for the last more than 3 decades, the bench said. While dismissing a writ plea filed by a person claiming to be a homeopath, the Kerala High Court has observed that the state government has been alarmingly lethargic in taking steps for a unified legislation for medical practitioners for the last more than 3 decades. The petitioner in this case had relied on a division bench judgment of the High Court in KHMG ASSN versus State of Kerala. The said case was a public interest litigation filed by an association of qualified homeopaths against permitting unqualified persons from practicing homeopathy. Without interfering much, the court had recorded submission of the state that the Kerala Medical Practitioners Bill 1996 has been taken up by the central government for getting prior clearance for introducing the bill in the state legislature. The court also took note that such submissions were made by the state before the court in the year 1987 also. Amidst widespread criticism, Modi orders fake news release to be withdrawn. Amidst widespread criticism for various quarters, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday ordered the withdrawal of the release of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, which said journalists can lose their accreditation charge of propagating fake news. The release issued on Monday evening was ordered to be cancelled by Prime Minister Modi, who reportedly said that the matter should be addressed only in the Press Council of India. It is to be noted that the I&B ministry headed by Smriti Irani had issued the release amending the guidelines for accreditation of journalists to regulate fake news and expressly stated that any request for accreditation will be granted if only journalistic ethics have been adhered to. Kerala High Court prohibits standing passengers in long-distance luxury buses of KSRTC. It is ordered that the KSRTC shall be bound to comply with the second provision to Rule 267, whereby they are prohibited to have standing passengers in luxury services, super deluxe services, super express services and super fast services, the bench ruled. The Kerala High Court has prohibited standing passengers in luxury services and long-distance buses like super deluxe services, super express services and super fast services operated by Kerala State Road Transport Corporation. This order is on a writ petition filed by Centre for Consumer Education, which complained that the KSRTC is not complying with the provision to Rule 267 of the Kerala Motor Vehicles Rules 1989. The second provision to Rule 267 provides that no standing passenger shall be allowed in luxury services, super deluxe services, super express services or super fast services. The petition also said that the higher fare was allowed in these services when standing passengers prohibited from the service and the state had permitted the superclass service providers an extra fare compared to that ordinary services to compensate the loss on account of prohibiting stage passengers. Journalists propagating fake news will now risk losing accreditation as IB Ministry amends guidelines. Journalists propagating fake news will now risk losing their accreditation as the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting amended the guidelines for accreditation of journalists to regulate fake news and expressly stated that any request for accreditation will be granted only if the journalist ethics have been adhered to. Now, any complaint of fake news will be referred to the Press Council of India if it pertains to print media and to the News Broadcaster Association if it relates to electronic media for determination of the news item being fake or not. The determination of veracity will be done in 15 days until such time the journalist who propagated the news in question would have his accreditation suspended. Thank you very much.